Put it in perspective.
All right, so your boy Murder Mase, Harlem World.
It?
Fuck it, why not?
Damn, let me see if I'm ready.
Why not? Why the fuck not?
What about it? What about it?
What about it? Is it a classic? And I've had this argument on Twitter. It wasn't really an argument. You know what it was? It was just that I was, and you know what's crazy? I actually liked the album because I played the shit out. I caught the bootleg cassette. I didn't buy it, but I went to Fulton Street, got that cassette tape. This is '97, so cassette tapes were still shit. I had my Walkman or whatever. I had my radio in my room. I used to write the lyrics down. Some of the songs on the Harlem World album. The joint with what was it? The joint with Buster. There was a few joints. I just to write the lyrics down, like because this is before we was just actually printing the lyrics out. It was like right before that started really taking off.
Yahoo.
And
Yahoo was out, and they had the worst lyric interpretation of all time.
Yes, yeah. You go in there like, what the fuck is this? They don't know what the fuck they talking about. So yeah, I'd rather interpret it my damn self. So I used to write down a lot of the lyrics. That was one of those first albums. That album and the Busta Rhymes Dangerous album, I recall writing the lyrics out to certain songs on those albums. But anyway, Harlem World had great singles. Feel So Good is one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time. That is a classic song. Regardless of anybody like, oh, it's that shiny. Nah, that shit is a classic. Feel So Good is a classic hip hop song. Why Your Girl Looking At Me is a classic. Nah, I ain't gonna say it's classic. It's a good song. I love that song.
That's Neptunes though, right?
Yeah, I believe the Neptunes did that beat. Yep. What else? What else is on there? The trend with Total. No, yeah, with Total.
There's a song. The song with Total is Tell Me What You Want. That song is classic.
That song is hot. Yes. Without a doubt.
Yes, it's a classic. I want to say that song is classic.
And it's another one. 24 Hours to Live. Classic. Okay.
He got a couple of classics. I just, after you told me about it, I don't know if I should play it now because they're gonna.
Nah, let's not do that.
Yo, but to be honest, YouTube
you can mute it.
You can mute it, and I don't like because that takes too long for them to pull up to do whatever. But to be honest, the YouTube idea. So if they have a copyright, whoever owns the copyright, they just take all the advertising on it, and this ain't like a Harlem World. This ain't gonna give us enough buzz,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, we're fixing our other videos up so we can get our money just in case. But do you want to get money? That's the first song. That's with Kelly Price, who apparently I think she sued Puff for not getting paid for whatever. I like that song.
It's a good song, but it's not like it didn't age that well for me. I played this whole album for the fact of this conversation. I had to play the album again, and a lot of these joints did not age well, bro. They sound like 1997. Like, all right, I get it. I get why the song was made, but this shit ain't classic. We know what the classics are. That's not a classic, bro.
But you could say that about you could
There's
say
a lot
that
of songs you could say that about. Yes.
Yeah, about a lot of Biggie songs.
Like which one? Respect.
Nah, I mean Respect. I didn't care for when they came out. Even on Life After Death. Those songs don't sound. You can't. What do you mean it didn't? Like you're
what songs?
Half the album. How does that sound like 2021? What does that mean?
Nah, all right, listen.
He has how many?
All right, wait, hold on. Because, all right, listen, yeah, there's songs that sound like, all right, for what it was at that time. But, bro, there's not songs that you can actually enjoy that's, like, timeless. Like, all right, yo, this song right here, like, we know why it's still classic. Like, I know why it was dope, and I know why it's still dope. Some of these songs on this album, they were good for that time. I'm not bumping it right now. I'm not listening to it, and I'm not enjoying it the same way I used to. There's songs on Biggie's album I can still enjoy. More so than the songs on this Harlem World album that are not singles.
That's You. I listen to it. This album is not meant for whatever you're talking about. Biggie, I might not be able to listen to that Biggie album with my wife. I can
Okay,
listen to it with you, but this
so
album I might listen to it with my wife.
the whole album?
Yes. You know what's funny?
Out of here, bro.
It's funny you say that because Feel So Good is the lead single or one of the singles. That's what
Yes.
the album is for. This is a product of the shiny suit, whatever. This is that. He did that to the utmost.
Right. Okay.
And Mase was copied so much because of this. Like we can't even deny his and you talk about the interludes were whack. No, they were not.
Yes, they fucking were, bro. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Oh,
the mad rapper shit was okay. The white girl shit, the Becky's and all that shit wasn't that dope, bro. It wasn't dope then.
Your man that was on the train talking shit about Mase, and all of a sudden you hear doom, doom. That shit is hilarious. The jealous one. Well, yo, stop calling my girl, yo. Who's your girl, B? Yo, you know stop calling my girl. That shit is hilarious. Which led to that's not tell me what you want. Yo, you don't like the Cheat on You song with Jay-Z. That song is still dope to me.
I was never a fan then. I didn't like it then. I still don't like it.
It's dope. It was a formulaic 90s album, but I like it. The I Need to Be song with Monifa is ill. That sounds like you feel like you're 16, 17 years old again. Everything about those lyrics. He's talking about going out with some girl.
Okay. All right. What about Love You So?
Which one is that? What is Love You So? With Billy Lawrence?
Yeah. Do you even remember that song?
I don't know. Let me lower it. No. I never liked that song. I never liked that song.
Okay. What about the joint with Lil Kim and Puff?
I like it.
Will It Die For You?
Yes.
Is it a classic? Is it something that you can enjoy still?
Okay, so that's the argument. Is the album a classic?
Yes.
If you got to think about it, then no. I had to think about it. That song with 8-Ball MJG is dope. Like his album, like his formula was what Big did. It was just so this way with it because he wasn't like, what do you want from him? I'm 19 years old. I'm 19, 20 years old. I'm not even 25, 27. All these other rappers took that long to pop off. He popped off with this album.
Nas was 17 when he made Illmatic. I don't want to hear shit.
Nas had all these producers around him. He had all those co-signs. Mase came from out of nowhere, 19 years old, under Puff.
He didn't come from out of nowhere, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here, man. What do you mean? What do you mean from out of nowhere? This album ain't just dropped. He had a buzz.
In 1995, there was no Mase. In 96, the Only You. Okay, but it took a while. It was still like he's still one of the most.
He came off of Money Mo Problems. He came off out of No Way Out. Like, yo, bro, Mase had a buzz. He was somebody, bro. Murder Mase, mixtapes.
It still wasn't a build up. It still wasn't a build like, all right, Nas didn't have a build up either. So it was like, okay, I see what you're saying. But it wasn't a build up like Tupac. It wasn't a build up like Jay-Z. It wasn't a build up like DMX. It wasn't a build up like all these other rappers who blew up at their late to mid 20s. He blows up at 19. That's different.
All right. First of all, Jay-Z didn't have a debut album until he was 26. Reasonable Doubt came out in 96, right? That was his first album. Tupac's first album, was it Strictly For My Niggas or Tupacalypse Now? It was Strictly For My Niggas. Right. What was the build-up for that? There was no build-up.
I'm not saying it's a build-up to that album. I'm saying it's a build-up to him blowing up. There's no build-up to Mase blowing up. It was a year. That's a year time. 90 only you about 96.
Ray. He was on Mo Money, Mo Problems, one of the biggest songs of 1997. Correct?
Yeah.
He was on No Way Out, Been Around the World. He was on that song. He was on the joint with Biggie on 112's album. Only You. Bro, that's a buildup. People were anticipating Mase.
Okay,
People were anticipating this debut, bro.
That took a year. At 19, DMX.
That's a buildup.
At 19, Jay-Z could not do that. They were Eminem at 19 could not do that. These rappers could not do that. Mase,
bro, all those rappers, their circumstances, their situations were way different than what Mase had. Jay-Z wasn't on no big songs before Reasonable Doubt. Eminem wasn't on no big songs before Slim Shady LP. Come on, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Mase had a machine behind him, bro.
And that's easy to say, but here's the question. Would you have wanted to hear a 19-year-old Jay-Z on anything? No, we did not. We didn't want to hear Jay-Z at 19. We just didn't.
Jay-Z was still selling drugs at 19, bro.
I don't care what he was doing besides rapping. I'm talking about his rap skills at 19. We would have just pressed fast forward. Who's the next guy up? That's how it was. Okay. That's not a lie. That's not a lie.
Bro, that's not right. See, no. See, now you're trying to flip. You're twisting shit because now you're trying to take points away from Jay-Z being 19 and comparing them to Mase at 19. So I can compare. I compare Mase to Nas then.
Mase to Nas. You can do that.
Why?
Because Nas blew up. You just did. You said Illmatic came out. He was what, 20?
Their trajectories are totally different. Totally different. Mase had a build-up, bro. Jay-Z didn't have no build-up to Reasonable Doubt. It was like it wasn't no like, yo, he was doing that shit on his own. Mase had a machine behind him. Jay and them niggas had to make their own label.
Even if Jay, I just said you didn't mention DMX either. DMX, I mentioned Eminem.
None of the build-up.
Yes, but even with Eminem, it's not just a machine. He needed a producer behind them. You needed the right people behind you, and you also have to learn how to adjust as a rapper. Mase had it figured out on the rap side at 19. He listened to whoever it was. He had it together. That's the whole point. That's a fact.
He had people behind him.
19.
He had people behind him.
Okay,
yes, it does.
Okay, but the point is that he's 19 and he does this. It's not a whack album by any stretch.
I didn't say it was a whack album. It's not a classic.
All right, but you have enough people out there to say that it's a classic to go, is it a classic?
If you got to question it, like you said, if you have to question this album being a classic, then it is. Because what other albums do I've never heard anyone have a conversation about hip hop. And I might be wrong. I've never, as far as I know, in like the Twitter space, amongst my people on the block, between even me, you, and Mel, we've never brought up Harlem World when we talked about regards to classic albums. Never. Not one time have we ever, in the 3 years me and you known each other, 3 and change years, on Marco Polo, we have never mentioned fucking Harlem World at one time.
And I would have said, what I used to say it was a classic. I used to say SD Cameron's first album was a classic. We used to love it that much. We used to love it that much.
I loved it, but I knew it wasn't a classic, bro. It's the same thing, and this goes back to War Report. I love War Report, but I know it's not a classic.
And that's where you slip up.
That's not why I slip up. You crazy, bro. You're not comparing the infamous Illmatic.
Yes, you are.
Fucking not.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are comparing the infamous and whatever other we just said it. We call it Army Fatigue rap. CNN's first album, War Report, is up there with everything. And
bullshit.
It's not. Mobb Deep has better hits, but in terms of a whole album, that first album, that War Report album, is
not better. It is not better than the infamous. You are smoking rocks.
It doesn't have to be better. All it has to do is be a classic. It made it.
Bro, it was never held in that regard.
That's not true. That's not true. Once again, if you need, how many people do you need to consider it a classic if it's not even that popular of an album? That's not fair. Now I can see why you say. Now I can see if you use that same argument for the Mase shit, that was popular enough to go, yo, ain't enough of you out here to consider it a classic, bro. This album sold 5 million records, and it's only like 5 of you saying it's a classic. Now I can see why you say about
with those singles on that album. Yes, he was going to sell. Mase was going to sell what he sold. You know what I'm saying? That was going to happen. The singles, that's what keeps the cash registers ringing. That's going to sell you your album.
Right.
But a lot of the other cuts on this album,
that's
bro.
okay. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, there's not for you the percentage of people that listen to this album that were able to consume it. Ain't enough of them calling it a classic for you to be like, this is a classic. It's just not. For the War Report, I want to say damn near 8, 9 out of 10 people that listen to it call it a classic.
Nah, man. Bro, you're not listen. It's a cult class. It's a New York classic album. I love that album. I love it. I love it. I know the lyrics. I know it.
But what else is it supposed to be? It's a New York album.
It's not a classic album. It's not. You're not comparing. All right, listen. You're not talking about. It's not in the same. It's not in the same conversation as the Doggy Style. It's not the same conversation as the Illmatic. It's not the same conversation as the Infamous. Yeah, you can compare it because of where they came from and how the album is, and yeah, use army fatigue rap or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's a street album. Like, yo, if you were in New York City at that time, like TONY, that was the shit. But it's not, bro. It's not up there with the Infamous, Illmatic, Only Built for Cuban Links. Bro. It's not, bro. It's not.
The only reason, and that's another thing. All those other albums had a great producer on behind it. The War Report doesn't have that genius producer behind it, and it's
Tradegy. I mean,
Tragedy's not Havoc, and he's not RZA, and he's not Dr. Dre. He's not Puff.
So all right. So okay. So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is they didn't have that, and it's still considered a classic.
Nah, bro.
You're gonna find
Capone was locked up most of the time. He was hardly on the album.
He's 3 songs.
So Nori had to carry a lot of that weight.
Right. Okay.
But that album's not a classic, bro. It's not.
You're one out of let's say it's 2 out of 10. I say 8 out of 10 people who like who listen to, because everybody don't listen to that shit.
So you know what? If you want to go by that, go post a poll up on Twitter.
I don't have enough of a following.
So then I'll do it. Yes. I'll do it. It's a cult classic, bro. It's a cult classic. It's culturally the culture in New York City that we grew up on. Like, yeah, like you could say that. But outside of New York, the War Report is not considered. It's not held in the regards as the Infamous outside of New York. It's not.
I don't know about that. And
I know about that. Okay, I'm telling you.
But again, you have Havoc and you have these producers that were able to make a song that expanded the listeners or the viewers or whatever of that album. The War Report.
Listen, I don't care who produced what. If the shit is dope, it's dope. It's dope. That shit. Listen, it was joints on there. That's ill. That I love. That did near and dear to my motherfucking heart. The body of work overall, from the beginning to end, it's not a classic. How many classic songs you think is on War Report?
How many songs on there? 14.
I mean, I can name 2 that are like, yo, like this is like, I don't care who you are, like outside of New York, this is a classic.
It's timeless.
2 of them.
That shit makes me want to get the entire album. Makes me want to get a 40-ounce from any liquor store.
Bro, I love. Listen, I love that album. I mean, it has a lot of meaning for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the album makes me want to cop army fatigue pants and Timbs in 90-degree weather in fucking New York City. And with a hoodie.
Yo, I mean,
you know what? Even if it's not 10 out of 10 songs, it's not the Illmatic. Infamous is not Illmatic. Where you guys make this?
It's not. It's not Illmatic. No, a lot. There's no album like Illmatic. It's that's Illmatic. All right, let's not even say Illmatic. Let's just say whatever other album besides Illmatic you consider a hip hop classic. Like, this is the consensus classic. Like, I don't care if you're from New York, you from Cali, you from down south, Midwest, whatever. Like, yo, Doggy Style is a classic. I don't care. We were playing that shit in New York. My mom bought that album first week. We were playing Doggy Style. Doggy Style was a classic.
But again, see, and that was my point before. Do you know of any E40 classics? Any Too Short classics?
they're classics in their region. Like, cause I motherfucker from Oakland, from the Bay, will tell you, like, yo, E40 got classics. A nigga in New York or in Florida will tell you different.
Okay, then. So then you're not qualified to ever consider E40's albums not a
I'm
classic.
from New York. I'm from New York City, Ray. I'm qualified to tell you that the War Report is not a classic.
All right, that point was you won that one. You got that point.
So listen, I love the album, son. I love the album, bro. And Bloody Money, the first Bloody Money is my favorite. That and TONY those are the two standout classes. And then of course, got the controversy with LA. But Iraq See the World is my shit. That one makes me that one is near and dear right there. What else? Halfway Thugs, Illegal Life. Like, listen, I love the album. I love the album, bro. Live on, live long.
Yeah, Iraq. That's one. Iraq See the world see Iraq.
Yo, son, I can't. I gotta be real with you, son.
Nah. You are disrespectful. Knock it off,
son.
Knock it off. Enough of your bullshit, bro. I can understand your Harlem World beef. You're not gonna run into 8 out of 10 people that listen to.
All right, so what album do you prefer to listen to? Harlem World or the War Report? You don't gotta answer that. They totally two different albums, man. That's two different moods. Cause one makes you want to go put your fatigues on, go rob some, drink a 40 on the bench. The other one make you want to go get bitches, get fly, hang out.
I'm older now. I'm older now. I can't even have that with the kids. I can't play that album around my son, my daughter right now.
Parole violated fugitives on the run, son. Live by the gun, son. Die by the gun, son.
They don't even have a Havoc. What did he say? He did the drums and that was it?
Yeah.
Listen, it's still an incredible effort by, Queens all day, by the way. Still an incredible effort. They kept they were anti-shiny suit before everybody else. They set the tone.
Yes.
They changed the momentum. They changed the momentum. So,
Yeah.
Are we done with that?
Yeah, we done with that. So Harlem World. Harlem World's not a classic.
No. That's not a classic.
Okay. All right. Moving on.